Hi guys, I'm Petra Valitsa. I'm the author of Sipping Green Tea and The Journey to Me, and my new book, Cappuccino Foam and the Many Roads to Rome. You can check out both books on my website, petravalitsa.com, and start the journey. So today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about what this spiritual journey is really all about. And how you can step into manifestation and creation. A lot of times we have these messages where we are constantly inundated with the idea that we can just, place some images on paper, on a board, and wish for these things to come true, or meditate with some wishful thinking, but it just doesn't really work like that. And I've talked about this before. The thing with the spiritual journey is that, what your ego consciousness wants is not really what your higher self wants for you. So sometimes there's a battle between one thing and the other thing. And I know because I've personally experienced this myself. And that starts a process when you're on the spiritual path of a deconstruction and getting rid of all the old in order to bring in the new. So when you start this spiritual path, you want to be aware of what you're doing. You're actually trying to deconstruct your ego. You are actually trying to find out who you are beneath the ego. And who is there underneath your what you think you are. Who you really are behind your ego is an amazing, wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, person that is smart, that is creative, that has an abundance of light and love to share with the world. But sometimes we just don't recognize that. Sometimes we're in a place where we don't feel good about ourselves. We have health problems. We are depressed, or we're in a dark place in our life. And it just doesn't feel like that. We have that, inside of us. And I was definitely there. And I realize now that I'm out of that place, that dark path that I was on, when I was depressed and lonely and didn't know, what I was doing with my life or where I was going, or had some traumatic events happen to me. All of that was actually for a reason. And the reason was that it actually forced me to actually take the spiritual path. It forced me to look deep inside of me and find out who I really am outside of all those circumstances, because those circumstances I created. In one way or another, whether it was negative, I created those circumstances. Sometimes it's hard to believe, and even today, sometimes I find that hard to believe. Well, why would I create that for myself? And at the time, the answer doesn't seem clear. But when you look back, when you're out of that space, you can say, right, okay, I get it. It's like when you lose your job or something, the news at first seems really sad and you're upset and you're frustrated. And then, a year later, you found a much more amazing job. You've connected with more amazing people. So there's a reason for everything. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes much more time than we anticipate and expect. And those are other lessons from the universe, which involve patience, faith, and trust. This is a good teaching for me as well, because I'm in a position where I'm looking for something in my life right now that hasn't manifested. And I have to admit, my faith is being tested because it's been a long time. And I'm waiting and and it's just not manifesting. And I'm looking inside and saying, well, why? Why is this not manifesting? So at those moments when I have that feeling, I take a time out. I go into meditation. You don't even have to go into meditation. You can have, a cup of green tea and just reflect for a moment. And that in itself is going to bring in a new awareness, a new consciousness to the issue or the thing that's happening in your life that you just don't understand at the moment. So my message overall today is that on the spiritual path, there are many challenges that is going to arise, but these are good. Try to believe that these are really good, and it's going to bring you to a place of light and love, and things will work out if you just have the faith that it will, and believe, not even believe, but know that it will. So that's my message for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for checking out my website. If you want to subscribe, I'm giving away a free awakening lesson, which helps you to start recognizing what your thoughts are and the process of looking behind the thought to see what your inner thoughts are. So have a look and subscribe on my website, petravolytsa.com. And if also you are someone who is also on the path and giving something back to the world, have a look at my website, kindredspiritsunited.com, and you can submit your profile and your bio and what you're doing to be featured on my new website. So thank you for listening today, and I'll see you guys all next time. All right, bye. Happy manifesting.